Honourable Dame Sendikero, Governor-General of New Zealand.
Ko te amorangi ki mua, ko te hāpai o ki muri. Kia tau iho na mana ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tāta. E honore he kororia he maunga rongo ki runga ki te mata o te whenua. Te whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Aro haena ngā teina me ngā tuakana e noho nei rumi te whakaro ko tahi pai marire.
Please be seated.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hau e whā, tēnei aku mihi mahana ki a koutou. Nau mai, haere mai, ki te whare nei, te whare o te kāwana tianara, ki whanganui a tara. Kia ora mai tātou katoa. Kia ora ana, talofa lava, mālola lei, nisambolo vanaka, salam alaikum, and namaste, warm greetings to all of you. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Government House, Wellington, for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge the Honourable Andrew Hoggard, Minister of the Crown, Air Vice Marshal Tony Davies, Chief of Defence Force, Rear Admiral Matthew Williams, Vice Chief of Defence Force, Air Vice Marshal Darren Webb, Chief of Air Force, Air Commodore Andy Woods, Chief of Staff, Commodore Carl Woodhead, NZDF, Commodore Maxine Laws, NZDF, Mr Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, and Ms Puhi Wahine Tibble, our kuia. Tēnā koutou katoa. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties I perform on behalf of His Majesty the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to our country, and I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Knight Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Sir Peter Beck of Auckland for services to the aerospace industry, business and education. Sir Peter Beck has been founder and CEO of Rocket Lab since 2006, which designs, builds and launches advanced rockets and satellites, pioneering an industry previously non-existent in New Zealand. Sir Peter has led Rocket Lab to become a highly successful, award-winning business engaged with STEM education and as a widely connected and recognized leader within global aerospace. Rocket Lab's Aotearoa became the first rocket in the Southern Hemisphere to reach space in 2009. Rocket Lab employs 1,800 people globally, with 750 New Zealand employees, and is the most prolific commercial launch provider behind only SpaceX, launching 46 missions to space, including NASA's 2022 Lunar Capstone mission, and more than 160 satellites to orbit as of April 2024. These satellites have enabled scientific and climate monitoring for NASA, national security for international governments, school and university research, and commercial innovations. The Electron rocket, first launched in 2017, achieved several world firsts, including materials used, and allows frequent launch at a dramatically reduced cost to other commercially available dedicated launch options. He has been pivotal in growing New Zealand's $1.69 billion space industry, which as of 2019 supported around 12,000 jobs nationally, both directly and indirectly. Sir Peter was the driving force behind a technology safeguards agreement between New Zealand and the United States, enabling the use and secure management of sensitive US space launch and satellite technology in New Zealand. Sir Peter Beck, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Air Marshal Kevin Short, for services to the New Zealand Defence Force. Air Marshal Kevin Short has commanded at all levels of the New Zealand Defence Force, NZDF, latterly as Chief of Defence Force, CDF, from 2018 to 2024. His tenure as CDF has encompassed significant and unprecedented domestic and global events, from the recovery of bodies following the Whakaari White Island volcanic eruption, the COVID-19 pandemic, to the evacuation of New Zealanders from Kabul during the 2021 Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. He oversaw military and humanitarian aid operations domestically and overseas in a resource-constrained pandemic environment, while also overseeing a significant update of the capability management system and a large re-equipment program for NZDF. He has led the Totara Commitment, an initiative bringing together South Pacific Defence chiefs. Air Marshal Short has overseen inclusivity and diversity inroads within NZDF. Air Marshal Kevin Short, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Jamie McKai of Dunedin, for services to broadcasting and the rural community. Jamie McKai co-purchased the radio station now known as Hokanui Gold in Gore and began a daily rural segment broadcast. He obtained a nationwide slot on Radio Sport through the radio network. He co-presented a business case to take his show The Country to more markets on News Talk ZB's provincial network. He fought to get his weekly Best of show into Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch to strengthen understanding of rural New Zealand in urban centres. He has advocated for rural mental health and well-being support and initiatives. He has supported cancer fundraisers, IHC's CAF and Rural Scheme, the Farm Strong Wellbeing Charity and Rabobank's Good Deeds Initiative. Mr. McKai has been president of Riversdale Rugby Club, a Gore District councillor and a trustee of Sport Southland and Mataura Licensing Trust. Mr. Jamie McKai, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Chris Clark of Ashburton, for services to alcohol and drug harm reduction. Chris Clark was a founding board member of Ashburton Community Alcohol and Drug Services, or ACADS, from 1987 to 1992, before being employed in the roles of health promoter, service manager, and as CEO until the present. She has driven the growth and development of ACADS to become a well-respected service within the Mid-Canterbury community. She has built a strong network of regional and national contacts, working on alcohol harm reduction, service improvements, professional development and policy. This knowledge has been implemented locally with a strong commitment to working alongside the community. Ms. Clark chaired the committee that protested to save the Ashburton Hospital from closure. Ms. Chris Clark, please come forward. Ms. Jolie Hodson of Auckland for services to business, governance and women. Jolie Hodson, Ngā Puhi, Rongo Whakata, Ngāti Kahungunu, is CEO and Executive Director of Spark New Zealand. With a collective of other prominent New Zealand businesswomen, she co-founded On Being Bold, which delivers an annual conference of business leaders to inspire women at all stages of their careers, with profits going towards free leadership development events for Year 13 girls. She is convener of the Climate Leaders Coalition and chaired the Digital Boost Alliance, an initiative supporting the uptake of digital tools for small businesses and communities. Ms. Hodson is an activator with SheEO, supporting women and non-binary entrepreneurs with startups. Ms. Jolie Hodson, please come forward. Mr. Muray King of Richmond for services to the dairy industry. Muray King and his wife farm a number of dairy properties in the North Canterbury and Nelson regions. He has championed innovation and collaboration through his directorships in several organisations, including board chair of the Livestock Improvement Corporation, Cawthron Institute, and as chairman of Waimea Irrigators Limited. He has supported industry-led initiatives such as the To the Core and Fonterra governance development programs, initiatives to improve environmental sustainability, and the rapid response to the 2017 Mycoplasma bovis outbreak. Mr. King is a trustee of the New Zealand Rural Leadership Trust and Nuffield New Zealand, supporting the ongoing development of leaders for rural New Zealand. Mr. Muray King, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an honorary member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Aliyah Danison of Hamilton, for services to the Muslim community and women. Aliyah Danison is National Coordinator of the Islamic Women's Council of New Zealand and holds its government engagement portfolio. She helped found and is coordinator of the women's organisation of the Waikato Muslim Association. She established a program for Muslim girls and women aged 14 to 25 to help them integrate into New Zealand society and culture while preserving their own identity and faith. She has supported the community following the 2009 Christchurch mosque terror attacks and is a member of Kapuia, the ministerial advisory group on the government's response to the Royal Commission of Inquiry. Ms. Danison has represented New Zealand and Muslim women at global events. Ms. Aliyah Danison, please come forward. Your Excellency. To receive the King's Service Medal, Mr. Mvin Allison of Raumati for services to brass bands. Mvin Allison was president of brass bands in Kapiti, Christchurch and Wellington. He played with the Evening Post Onslow Band, now the Wellington Brass Band, for more than 30 years. He tutors brass to students in Tawa and Wellington. He's helped organise fundraising events for the Kapiti Brass Band. He toured Canada and the United States with the National Band of New Zealand and played with the Royal New Zealand Air Force Band. Mr. Allison plays in a local jazz group of Kapiti Brass Band players and has performed sing-along music for local clubs and senior citizens groups. Mr. Mvin Allison, please come forward. Mr. Henry Brittain of Waikanai for services to transport, history and tourism. Henry Brittain has been involved with the Wellington Tramway Museum in Paikakariki since 1965, holding several committee positions including president. He has helped to develop the museum from a collection of salvage from the Wellington City Tramway into a flourishing organisation. He is president of the Council of Tramway Museums of Australasia. He was the tramway convener for the Federation of Rail Organisations of New Zealand. He's written several articles for transport journals and is considered an expert on tram history. Mr. Brittain is secretary of the Omnibus Society and was secretary of the Karori Historical Society. Mr. Henry Brittain, please come forward. Mr. Joseph Zabada of Lower Hutt for services to the Polish community and historical research. Joseph Zabada is a long-standing member of the Polish Association of New Zealand. He helped organise several reunions of the Pahiatua Polish Children's Camp, set up to accommodate deported Polish children during World War II. He co-authored the book Pahiatua's Polish Children, New Zealand's First Refugees. He's been an archivist of related information and photographs. He was a member of the Polish School Committee of Petone Lower Hutt. He has assisted with camps and trips for the Polish Youth Club Wellington. He chaired the Polish Church Committee. Mr. Zabada represents the Polish community on the Lower Hutt Ethnic Council. Mr. Joseph Zabada, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
We seem to have given the longest walk to the oldest person. Thank you, sir. New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the sentiment expressed by Martin Luther King when he said, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our country. Kia ora, I hohi mai nei I tēnei ata. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in te reo Māori and in English. I now invite you to join with me in singing the anthem.